Netflix, casual light reading, leisure reading, taking a hot bath, doing yoga if that's your thing, going for a walk if the weather permits. Like all these kinds of things are good to do. You just want to ideally be away from the LSAT and be away from like anything that's like nerve inducing, like watching the news or reading the news or social media, things like that. Just stay away from that sort of drama. You don't need it. It'll be there after test day. There's always an outrage of the day, but I'd say just focus on keeping it light and simple and minimal, and be well rested, of course. So make sure you're going to bed early. Don't eat anything too heavy the night before. Maybe set multiple alarms if that will help. And of course, get your gallon size Ziploc bag ready with everything you need, admission ticket, photo. Double check that your name on your government ID exactly matches the one on your admission ticket. Double check that the test center hasn't changed. And make sure that you have, because occasionally last minute it will change. So just be careful of that. Find a quiet corner, sit there, just try to meditate. You could bring light reading material to toss out. You have warm-up questions, so you can bring those and do them. Or you could also just, if you arrive at the test center early, which you probably will because you don't want to have any issues, you could avoid going in there as long as possible. So you could instead like go for a walk, or you could sit outside for a bit until the last minute that you really need to go in. Because once you go in and then other people are talking and they might stress you out. Although on the flip side, I sometimes hear reports of people saying they overheard other test takers who sounded really dumb and had no clue what they were talking about. Like people talk about how like they didn't study at all. And you're like, are you nuts? But hey, that'll help you, give you a boost. That you're not making a smart life decision if you choose to take the LSAT without studying. There's no point. Warm-up questions can be whatever you want. They could be a favorite logic game. They could be a favorite reading comp passage, a couple of logical reasoning questions. These should be things that you've done before and you feel confident in. You've walked through the method of reasoning a number of times. They're just a way to get your brain moving a bit so that the first questions you do on test day aren't going to be actual LSAT questions that count. Definitely not an entire section. So you could probably do them in the lobby. You could obviously do them in the car. You could do them outside somewhere. If there's a coffee shop nearby, you could do there, or like a lounge nearby. But yeah, once you enter, once they're like taking and checking your ticket, like it's done, then they're going to want you to, they're going to look at everything you brought with you and they're going to make you throw out anything that's not allowed. They're all identical, like they're going to release this one as a numbered exam someday. November became 86. And then you see maybe in the moment while you're taking it for real, it seems harder or something. But then if you look at it later, you see it's just like anything else.